Hello everyone! I'm spending the day with a real Stobart energy lorry. But look! Something's missing! Do you know what it is? Yes! That's it! We're missing the big trailer from the back. Let's hook it on. This is Andy, and he's the driver of this lorry. Andy starts the engine by turning this key. He puts the lorry in reverse gear and carefully backs towards the trailer. Back a bit, Andy. Little bit more. There. Andy now has to do a few things to fully connect the trailer. He has to connect the hydraulic pipes and electrical lines. This means everything on the trailer can now be controlled from the cab. Andy then winds the trailer legs up. He turns off the trailer brake and fits the number plate onto the back. It's then back into the cab to test that everything's all attached. Brilliant! That looks a lot more like a lorry now. Andy, what's the best thing about driving a lorry?
I really love life on the open road. You get to see a lot of interesting places around the country. Would you like to see my truck?
Yes, please. The front part of the lorry is called the cab, and this is where the driver sits.
So Gecko, this is my cab. It's got all the usual things that you'd expect and some special surprises too. This is a steering wheel. It goes up and down and every position that you'd want it to go. It's really, really good. Just here, this switch here, that turns all the lights on. And this here is the all-important horn. And I also have a bed in the back. It's really, really comfy.
Because Andy has to do very long drives, his cosy cabin has a comfy bed for him to sleep in at night. There's all sorts of other things in here to make sure Andy's comfortable for his long journeys. There's some curtains and a reading light. Wakey, wakey, Andy! It's time to go out on the road, so before the journey, Andy walks around the lorry doing his safety checks. Wow, there's a lot of wheels to check. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Each Stobart lorry is unique and gets given its own name. This lorry is called Demi Nicole.
Right Gecko, we're good to go. Hop in.
We're off to pick up some waste wood that would normally go straight in the bin. Stobart Energy pick up this wood in their lorries and turn it into electricity to power homes. It's amazing. Andy presses a button to open the roof sheet of the empty trailer. He then jumps back in the cab where it's safe. This very clever vehicle is called a grab, and it's used to load up Andy's trailer. The driver uses the grabber to pick up lots of wood and drop it into the back. To make sure the driver of the grab can see over the top of the trailer, the cab can go up and down. Wow, I've never seen that before. It looks like we're full, so it's time for Andy to put the top back on, hop back in, and take this waste wood back to base. Back at base, Andy opens the back doors. He presses this button to start emptying the trailer. Inside the trailer is an amazing moving floor, which moves the wood backwards. It then tips out of the back. Once out, it's then time for another big vehicle to come along and pick up the wood. This is called a loading shovel, and it loads the wood into this big machine, which chops it into much smaller pieces. These small pieces have now become special wood fuel, which can be burned in a power station. This amazing material has come from wood that would normally have been buried underground as rubbish. The lorry is reloaded with the wood fuel and then driven to the special biomass power station. This power station can power 35,000 homes. Andy carefully reverses into the bay and tips the wood fuel off. The wood fuel travels underground, up a conveyor belt, and is then burned, heating water to produce steam, a bit like a steam train. The steam turns a big turbine or wheel, which creates electricity. Thanks very much to Andy and all the team here at Stobart Energy for teaching us all about this amazing lorry and how it helps to create electricity. I'll see you again soon. Bye! Hello everyone! Gecko here, and I'm at the RNLI Hoylake to meet a very special type of tractor. This is a launch and recovery tractor, which means its main job is to take this huge lifeboat down the beach and launch it into the sea. These RNLI lifeboats are really important because they rescue people who are in trouble at sea. That means the tractor needs to be able to launch the boat in super quick time. This tractor doesn't have wheels. These are called caterpillar tracks. They're perfect for travelling quickly across the sandy beach and stop the tractor from getting stuck in the mud. Even the trailer's got these special caterpillar tracks. This is called a swan neck, and it's what connects the tractor to the trailer. It can go up and down when launching the boat. And look, up there is the cab. That's where the driver sits. He climbs up a ladder and hops in. Look, the amazing crew of the RNLI are launching the lifeboat right now. The tractor's pushing it out of the station and down the ramp to the beach. Wow! Look at it move along the sand. It's really fast. I almost forgot to tell you. This tractor's amazing because it can go under the water. No water gets into the cab because it's totally sealed, a bit like a submarine. Look how deep it's gone. The driver lifts the swan neck, which tilts the lifeboat. Then the boat just slides off. Hooray! The crew of the RNLI are volunteers. They give up their free time to save people who are in trouble, which means they also have to do a lot of training. After the training exercise, it's time for the tractor to come back into the water and recover the lifeboat. The lifeboat's very strong, and it's designed to hit the beach at speed. This is the winch. The crew attach the rope from the winch onto the lifeboat. The swan neck tilts the trailer and the winch pulls it on. Amazing! Wow, that's like magic! The trailer can spin the boat around in a circle so that she's facing the right way out to sea for the next rescue mission. The crew are also launching a hovercraft today. A hovercraft is an amphibious vehicle. Do you know what amphibious means? It means something that can go on land and in the water. This is Chris, and he's today's hovercraft commander.
Great to see you, Gecko. Coming into our lifeboat station.
It's amazing inside this lifeboat station. There's so many huge vehicles that are all designed to rescue people who are in trouble at sea.
Gecko, would you like to join us on a hovercraft training exercise?
Oh yes, please, Chris. To stay safe, warm and dry, the crew have to wear this safety gear. The helmet is actually called a Gecko helmet. Can you believe it? It's a real team effort to launch the hovercraft. Push, team! The hovercraft is very heavy, so a big tractor is used to tow it safely down to the beach. Then, it's all hands on deck to unclip the hovercraft from the trailer and pump up the inflatable sponsons which help the hovercraft float on water. Then the pilot uses the engine to glide back onto the beach. Hooray! Wow, look at all of these levers and switches. It all looks very complicated. Nick is the pilot, and it's his job to fly the hovercraft. To start the engine, Nick turns this key. We can't see them, but underneath the hovercraft are two fans, which blow air downwards. This fills the skirt with air, making the hovercraft lift off the ground. Wowzers trousers! The big fans at the back are called the thrust propellers, and these push the hovercraft forwards. When Nick moves this lever, the rudders at the back move. It's these rudders that steer the hovercraft left and right. Nick makes the fans move faster and the hovercraft glides forwards. Woo, that is amazing! As commander of the hovercraft, it's Chris's job to check all around and give Nick instructions to help him fly the hovercraft safely. It's so fast and it's so noisy. Now I know why these Gecko helmets have microphones and headphones built into them. They allow us to talk and listen to each other. It feels like we're floating across the sand. And just like that, we're on the water. This hovercraft is amazing! It's now time for me to hop off and let the crew do their training exercise. The RNLI is a charity set up to save lives at sea. And these training exercises help the team here get ready for real-life search and rescue missions. So, to be as prepared as they possibly can be, the team practice. Today they're practicing how to rescue someone who is stuck in the mud. Playing in deep mud near the sea can be very dangerous, especially if the tide is coming in. Now that's what I call getting stuck in. Tides are the rise and fall of the levels of the sea. This is something that's happening all of the time, which means that if you're stuck in the mud on the beach, the tide might come in and surround you with water. It's very important to respect the water and make sure you check when the tide is coming in, to make sure you're safe when you're at the beach. Well done, team. Another successful training mission. Oh dear, it looks like the mechanicals haven't checked the tide times, and they're stranded on this island. It looks like there's a storm coming too. Luckily, the Hovercraft is the perfect rescue vehicle. Jump aboard, mechanicals. Look how muddy the Hovercraft is. All that whizzing about in the sand and sea is dirty work. Every time the Hovercraft is called into action, the RNLI crew take great care to make sure it's cleaned up and ready to be used again. Here in the nice dry lifeboat station is the perfect place for the Hovercraft to sleep for the night. Thank you very much to the fabulous crew from RNLI Hoylake for allowing me to spend the day with them and their amazing Hovercraft. It's been absolutely brilliant. I'll see you again soon. Bye! If you love this video, tap here so you're the first to know about my latest videos. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hello everyone. Gecko here. I'm here at Wigston Fire Station to meet a vehicle that's a really big deal. Hold on to your hats, because here it comes. Woohoo! That is the cutest fire engine I've ever seen. This is the mini fire engine, and it's used by the amazing firefighters here to teach children all about fire safety. This is Kane. He's a firefighter and the driver of this mini fire engine. It's got all the usual things you'd expect on board. Flashing lights, a siren, and a ladder. All in an itty-bitty teeny-tiny size. But best of all, it's got plenty of room in the back for children to have fun rides. Look at that! There's a pretend radio for making emergency calls. You can really see just how small the mini fire truck is when it's parked next to its big sister. This fire truck is big, and this one is small.
Hey Gecko, want to go for a ride?
I thought you'd never ask. Yes, please. The mini fire truck is powered by electricity. That means it's got a big battery on board that can be charged overnight. It's very easy to drive. Kane just puts his foot on the pedal and steers with the steering wheel. To turn on the flashing lights and sirens, he presses these buttons. Woohoo! We've arrived at the park. Kane, I think these children would like a ride. That's it. Get your special firefighting kit on. Jump aboard. Wow, we can fit loads of children in the back and even one in the front next to Kane.
We'll make sure we've got the seatbelts on.
It's very important that you're safe in any vehicle, so the first thing you should always do
Everyone happy?
is put your seatbelt on. This fire engine is so small that it's allowed on roads and footpaths. This is going to be a fantastic ride. Wave hello to everyone. After the ride, Kane teaches the mini firefighters some important fire safety lessons. This one's called Stop, Drop and Roll. Fire is very dangerous, and if there's ever any fire on your clothes, you should stop, drop to the floor, cover your face, and roll around. I've loved spending the day with this amazing mini fire engine. Thanks very much to Kane and all of the team at Wigston Fire Station. For now, it's cheerio from Gecko. Bye! Hello everyone! Gecko here. What a lovely day for a walk. But woohoo! This hill's a bit steep. Mechanicals! Are you okay? Whew. I'm struggling a bit too. I should really get out to the garage more and do some exercise. Hey! The mechanicals have hitched a lift. How do I get on? Hey! Wait for me!
Hi Gecko, you okay? Welcome to the Great Orme Tramway. This is the halfway station.
Halfway? You mean I'm not at the top yet? Wow! Now this is the way to travel. Put your feet up and get pulled up the mountain. This is a tram. It runs on rails and it's connected to a really strong cable which pulls it up the hill with absolutely no effort on my part. Phew! Wahey! We've reached the top. What a view! Up here, there's a cafe, a play area, and even an adventure golf course. Now, this tramway is very old. The Great Orme Tramway was built in 1902. That's over 100 years ago. It was before most people had cars to get around in, and the tramway was used to transport people and their things from the town of Llandudno below up to the mountain called the Great Orme. Let's take a closer look at how these trams work. What do you mean there's no engine? Excuse me, James. If there's no engine in the tram, how does it move up the hill?
Good question, Gecko. Well, as you know, the tram is connected to a really strong cable, and this cable is connected to a big winch at the halfway station. Would you like to see?
Ooh, yes please. This is a winch. Wow, this is amazing. This big winch is really strong, and it winds the cable in, which pulls the tram up. But that's not the only help that the tram has. The tram climbing up the hill is also connected to the tram going down the hill. An invisible force called gravity pulls the tram down the hill. Gravity is what keeps us on the ground. Oh dear, Blue. That's gravity for you. It's always pulling us towards the ground, with sometimes painful consequences, eh, Blue? What goes up must come down. Back to the trams. The weight of the tram going downhill helps to pull the other tram up the hill. That means the tram doesn't need an engine on board. Wowzers trousers. It takes real teamwork to keep the tram running. The winchman controls how fast and how slow the trams get pulled up and down the hill. But it's the driver on board the tram who gives the winchman the instructions. When the driver presses these buttons on board, a message is sent to the winchman to speed up or slow down the winch. Amazing! Whew, I'm exhausted. All of this learning has made me tired. I might have to leave my big walk until tomorrow. Thanks very much to James and everyone here at the Great Orme Tramway. It's cheerio from Gecko. Bye! If you love this video, tap here so you're the first to know about my latest videos. Thanks for watching. Bye!